Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we're taking a look at 10 things to know before playing Gotham Knights. The newest game set in the Batman franchise is upon us, and it's had a bit of a polarizing reception throughout its marketing. Regardless of whether you're buying it on day one or not, here are some things you should know about the game before spending your hard-earned money. Are you picking up Gotham Knights at launch? Let us know down in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Story.
Jim Gordon never gave up on anything. That's why Gotham City is still here.
Gotham Knights is admittedly in a weird spot with its story due to where it's starting. It'll be even stranger if you're coming off from replaying Arkham Knight, where Batman finally dies in the end. This new game from WB Games Montreal is telling an original story despite its beginnings. Bruce Wayne is dead, leaving Gotham without a guardian and his apprentices, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood, without a mentor. Commissioner Gordon has also passed, meaning the GCPD is open to corruption once again. As foes old and new crop back up, our four young heroes will have to take the mantle of Gotham City's protectors and continue cleaning the crime-riddled streets. The heroes. From the get-go, players will be able to play through Gotham Knights as one of the four heroes and fly solo or with friends. If you prefer agility over power, Nightwing is your guy, but those who might want to stick close to Batman's moves will want to go for Batgirl. Want a good arsenal of gadgets at your disposal mid-combat? Robin's your dude. Or how about Red Hood and his non-lethal bullets, whatever the heck that is. Pick the knight that's right for you and become the new savior of Gotham. Court of Owls.
Jim Gordon. They thought they had a handle on this city.
After residing in the shadows of media in the past decade since their debut, the Court of Owls seems like they will be taking center stage in Gotham Knights' story. For those unfamiliar with Batman lore in recent years, the Court of Owls was introduced to the lore in 2012, consisting of wealthy Gotham City residents who carried out assassinations against anyone who challenged their influence. While this new faction of criminals has been well received by fans, it's a new facet of Gotham that hasn't had much of a presence in Batman media, outside of the Gotham TV series, an episode of Harley Quinn, and one of the members being a playable character in LEGO DC Supervillains. Villains.
Play nice. But we aren't going to give up.
While the Court of Owls will serve as the main antagonist, other Batman rivals will be appearing in the story as well. Of the criminal masterminds we've seen so far, expect to run into Harley Quinn, Clayface, Penguin, and Mr. Freeze. A small selection, yes, but perhaps this signifies a shorter or tighter experience. Or maybe WB Games Montreal is hiding more criminals in the dark corners of Gotham for us to encounter. The small cast also leaves room for possible expansions that could rope in more villains and weave new stories, though there has been no word on such plans. That said, we're getting what we're getting. I'm just glad that there's no Joker in this one. For God's sake, let's give the clown a break. Cast.
Let alone a better man. But Gotham City needs me.
Though it may be a given considering its detachment from previous Batman games, Gotham Knights is using an entirely new cast of voice actors. For America Young, who plays Batgirl, this will be her first foray into acting in a video game, having provided stunt work across several movies and TV shows, as well as voicing Toralei Stripe in the Monster High franchise. Playing Nightwing is actor and martial artist Christopher Sean, whom folks may recognize from Fallout 76, Hawaii Five-0, and Star Wars Resistance. Sloan Morgan Segal will take his biggest role ever as Robin after a decade's worth of roles across short-lived TV shows like The Goldbergs, Nickelodeon's Game Shakers, and Dwight in Shining Armor. And lastly, we have Stephen O. Young. who many players may recognize as KK from Bethesda and Arcane's Ghostwire Tokyo, or most famously as Mr. Negative in the PlayStation exclusive Marvel's Spider-Man. And for villains, we have Kari Walgren as Harley Quinn, Elias Tufexis as Penguin, Donald Chang as Mr. Freeze, and Brian Keene as Clayface.
See you at the premiere.
An Arkham-less formula made by Arkham. If you've seen some of the trailers and gameplay demos, you may have already pieced together what feels off about Gotham Knights. It looks like it could be an Arkham game, but it isn't. From visuals and gameplay, it certainly looks like WB Games Montreal has borrowed concepts from previous Batman games. Alas, that isn't the case. There is no rhythm-based combat with a focus on combos. There is no fear mechanic. There isn't even a counter from what we've seen. It is a tried and true action RPG with an open world format. So if you're jumping into the game, don't expect it to play exactly like the Arkham games. Traversal. As you fight baddies across the streets of Gotham, you'll find a handful of ways to traverse the map between your character's gadgets and vehicles. Each of the 4 heroes will have their own way to travel. Much like Batman, Batgirl will be able to glide across rooftops. Robin uses the Justice League satellite to teleport short distances. Nightwing makes use of a glider called the Flying Trapeze. And Red Hood can literally walk on air for some reason. Why is he the weirdest one of the 4? Anyways, if you'd rather tear the streets on patrol, you can call in one of the many vehicles such as the Bat-Cycle. Co-op mechanics. One of the most interesting aspects of Gotham Knights is how the game is approaching co-op gameplay. As we mentioned earlier, the game can be played solo or with friends. However, you won't have to worry about progressing at the same rate as your friends. Regardless of whose campaign you're playing in, your stats will scale with the host's game, allowing you to take on whatever foe without worrying about boosting or trying to compensate for poor gear. As for combat, you'll be able to perform takedowns in conjunction with your friend, making the two feel just like a dynamic duo. The thing about WB Games Montreal. Regardless of whether you're hyped about Gotham Knights or you're still skeptical, it is worth noting the reputation of its developer, WB Games Montreal. This is arguably the studio's most ambitious game ever, and their first original work. Before Gotham Knights, the studio had only developed the Wii U port for Batman Arkham City, LEGO Legends of Chima Online, and the polarizing Batman Arkham Origins, a prequel to Rocksteady's acclaimed series. While they would develop DLC for Arkham Knight, WB Montreal hasn't really done anything of this magnitude before. That said, it will be interesting to see if Gotham Knights will show they can carry the Bat Torch, or if we'll repeat the mistakes made with Arkham Origins. It's not to say Origins was a bad game, but it did have its problems. Launch. If you haven't been keeping up with news regarding Gotham Knights' release over the past year, well, we have some bad news for you. Gotham Knights will be releasing on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows PC only on October 21st, 2022. Though the game was originally slated to launch on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, those versions have been cancelled. According to WB Games Montreal, this decision was made to, quote, provide players with the best possible gameplay experience, end quote. Considering problems many other cross-gen games like Cyberpunk 2077 have endured trying to appeal on all platforms, it's safe to assume that Gotham Knights simply wasn't running correctly on older platforms without heavy sacrifices being made, whether those sacrifices lied in optimization or costs. Regardless, if you plan to play Gotham Knights, you best secure yourself a PlayStation 5 or Series XS, or make sure your PC can run it. Console players will have to fork over $70 for their copy, whereas PC players will only have to cough up $60. What is up with that pricing?
Check out these other great clips from Mojo Plays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.